Yeah, this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. I was just talking about Billy Haywood today to a friend of mine, and I remember that time I was with Jimmy Tibbet, and we went down to the place called the Harp and Erin, and it was Harry Haywood's pub, and Harry introduced me to Bill. I've already met Bill. I've already met Bill before in Mason Prison. Bill was a nice fella, mate. He was a nice fella, game fella. They had a club around the corner called Cheeks, a big club, beautiful club, mate, massive club, yeah. And I used to go around there with Jimmy Tibbet and just sit round there, look at the bouncers and all that, which one we're going to fight very soon, you know what I mean? And a couple of times, well, only the once actually, Dave Courtney, I see Dave Courtney come in on a Rolls Royce with a purple fur coat on, I think it was, with a black guy, big bodybuilding guy with him. I think he come out with a Rolls Royce, Dave Courtney. I didn't think he was gay, I don't know, but it seemed a bit funny him getting out the back with this big black bodybuilder, but you never know, do you? But anyway, I didn't mind Dave. He told a lot of stories, he told a lot of lies, but his stories are nice guys to talk to. Dave Courtney, he's got loads of stories. I mean, well, I say nice guy, he's all right, you know what I mean? But I remember years ago seeing him on one when he went down to see his old boy, three-handed, four-handed, big cosh hanging out the back pocket and the bash the old boy up. We didn't pay his money, but I think that was a bit strong, you know what I mean? Three or four, mind you, but the old boy might have bashed him up, you know what I mean? And the old boy looked a bit lively. Yeah, but I was talking about Billy Haywood. I remember I've had a few things to do for Bill through Jimmy Tibbet. They got on really well over that. Big turnout over the Smiths Club. You know, when there was a big shooting at Billy Haywood and all that lot was in there having a punch up with the Richardsons. And I don't know, come on second best or whatever, but I remember that Billy Haywood, they finished the Richardson's reign, yeah. That's what I was told. Eddie Richardson, I like Eddie. I like to talk to him. When I see Eddie down at the pub down at bottom up, where I live, Brookbank Road, and a nice fella, mate. A nice fella, over hilly fields. And then Eddie was quite big, a big lump. Looked very powerful, good-looking guy. But Billy Haywood and Harry Haywood, they didn't have too much to say about Eddie. You know, they wasn't really frightened of him. They wasn't that far from him, actually. You know, not that far from Charlie. I mean, I think Charlie was in, was he in Lewisham? Or what is it? It might be Lewisham. I think it was Lewisham. It was just at the back of Lewisham. Illyfield, that ran that way, Illyfields. He was nice. I like Charlie. Charlie was a bit of a handful, mate. Charlie, don't worry about that. I mean, very quiet, very business minded, you know. And he got involved with the gold turnout, didn't he? All that gold and Nigeria. I think he got rumped to about 250 grand, 300 grand. Nigerians is Nixie money. Don't trust a Nigerian. That's more like what they got a dodgy name. You know what I mean? For nicking money, because they nicked Charlie's money and Eddie's money. But I liked Eddie. I did like Eddie Richardson. Very powerful, strong man to talk to. I used to go down to Spills a lot with Jimmy Tibbet. I mean, I told you about this. We've had a few fights down the Spill. One day I chucked someone over the balcony. You know, I mean, a lot of people there that really couldn't. It was funny over there because there wasn't a lot of people could have a row. You know, I mean, South East London. I mean, there's all gangsters. Don't take me wrong. I mean, when I went to Bermondsey, you know, when I was going down Bermondsey with Peter Kelly, a lot of gangsters down there. Loads of people down there got all. Most of what I found about South East London. Most of them are into armed robberies, yeah. All the gold bullion lot come from there. Lots of money changed hands around Bermondsey. Bermondsey was a good money getter, mate. You know what I mean? Lots of dangerous people running on their guns. You know what I mean? And you know, and I got involved with them because I was a fighter. It seems to be that if you're a fighter, you get involved with things 24/7. You know, things always put towards you. Being wrapped around Jimmy all the time. Jimmy Tibbet, I mean, we was given things 24/7. We was always given things to do. I mean, I was working with Jimmy, 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes, collecting money. And believe me, when we went out to collect money, we got it. You know what I mean? Jimmy learnt me a lot about being an enforcer, how to talk to them. You know, a lot of it is about talking. But as I say, Jimmy was like a proper talker. But Jimmy could march on, mate. I mean, when that time I went down Brighton, who was Strighton down there? Who was Strighton down there? And me and Jim. And Jimmy had a row with Hugh Strighton. And then I find out about it. It was Hugh Strighton being a really, really heavy guy. I went, hold up, Jim. Come on, mate. What's going on here? Let's not have none of this shit. You know what I mean? But, you know, Jimmy was all right. He weren't frightened. He weren't frightened. He put it on Hugh Strighton a bit. He put it on him. You know, and to do that, mate, you got to be some powerhouse, you know what I mean? Because Hugh Strighton had lots of bad people around him. He had my mate Tony Lawrence around him at one time, chucking all the people out of the houses, old women, young women, women with kids, chucking them out. Hugh Strighton used to nick their properties. Right? He's multi-millionaire. He owns half of Brighton. He's a big time mafia in a way. But he had a lot of people working for him, chucking people out of houses. I like Tony Lawrence, mate. Me and Tony Lawrence got on really, really well. Tony was a very, very, very dangerous man, Tony Lawrence. You know, to be wrapped around Tony was dangerous. You know what I mean? I see him, a picture with him, with Eddie Richardson, Charlie Richardson. He was a big guy with a motor, with glasses. He's about 6 foot. He looks really tall, Tony. I didn't think Tony was that tall, actually. But big glasses, and Vicar, you know, I mean, I'm only telling a story here. I might have said it before. I'm only telling the story. Vicar, when he escaped, he ruined it all for everybody else there. He just went by himself, where he should have given everybody else a chance to get away, like Eddie Richardson. And then he took the mickey out of Tony Lawrence. Tony Lawrence was the big fat guy doing the bodybuilding with the glasses, made him out to be a bit simple. I mean, Tony wasn't that happy, but I remember sitting in Chelmsford prison having a cup of tea with Tony, and Tony said to me, "Look, when I get out, mate, I'm going to sort this vicar out. Yeah, he took the right piss out of us. He thinks I'm an idiot, you know, and he said I'm going to sort him right out." And I said, "Well, whatever, mate." And he's, you know, started talking to me, saying, "Look, when you get out, Ray, come and see me." You know what I mean? So the first time I went to see Tony in Fulham, you know, we was like, went into his house, he had all guns over the wall, he had these 38s, 45s. Mate, this geezer was like an army, you know what I mean? He had guns everywhere, swords everywhere, knives everywhere. Madness, the gaff, you know what I mean? It was like an army. You couldn't get in there, mate. If you got in there, you'd come out stabbed to death, shot to death, you know what I mean? It's a lunatic asylum. And Reenie, his wife, Reenie, beautiful, mate. His wife, really, really attractive. He had a young daughter called Tony, and a young son called Steve. Steve sometimes goes on my podcast. Nice kid, Steve. I like Steve. I don't know what happened to Tony, the daughter, but Steve was lovely, mate. I liked him. Tony never had much time for his kids as such. I mean, he loved his kids. He gave them everything, you know what I mean? But it was all about getting money. I mean, one day I went over there, Tony's house, and God, there was murders, mate. And what Reenie had done, she'd have a row with Tony that night and chucked her tom box down the chute into the rubbish, into the bin, down the bottom, one of them big round bins, yeah? Tony's, when I get there, he's tipped the bin upside down and getting all the jewellery. I mean, come on, you can imagine Tony Lawrence, he was a good money getter, and Reenie was really, really pretty, and he used to buy her bundles of gold and diamonds, yeah? So you can imagine when she chucked that in the bin, all the diamond rings, the bracelets, the chains, earrings, all that lot, you know. I bet he lost a lot as well, because some stuff would get mixed up with other stuff in there, you know. But he must have lost a lot of stuff. He was going crazy. Well, you know how they go, yeah. But me and Tony got on really well. I remember once I was driving in a motor with him once, and he sees something, Tony, and I want to look down into the glove compartment. He said, "Get that out for me." There was 2 hand grenades and a 38 Saturday night special. I was saying, Tony, Why am I driving around this remote? You know what I mean? It's crazy, you know. You get listen. There's no way that he would stop. I mean, if the old Bill pulled him up, he'd just gone crazy. Like, coming, you got hand grenades in the car with a 38 Smith & Wesson Saturday night special. You're not going to really give up. Hello, mate, come and get me. You're going to a war, aren't you? And it's exactly what he'd have done, you know. So I said, listen, this ain't for me, Tom. I've got to move on, mate. Honestly, it ain't for me. I can't be into doing this at all. You know, it's not my thing, you know what I mean? But it is my thing, but I didn't want to be flying around with guns and hand grenades in the car, you know what I mean? So I went my way, he went his way. But Tony Lawrence was getting bundles and bundles and bundles of dough. He was absolutely fortunate. He got so much money, mate. And I wish I'd have stayed with him, really, but it was too dangerous for me, yeah, at that time. At that time, I didn't want to get so involved, and then I got involved, yeah. And a couple of times I had a bit of trouble down the market there, Fulham Market, and a couple of greengrocers there bashed up really, really bad, you know, over a bit of money that they took off someone, and bashed them up really bad. I mean, one thing I ain't a bully, but I'm an enforcer, so I've got to go get the money. Jimmy Tibbetts told me how to go around things. I just took what he told me, and I was well, just give him a clump, and this, that, and the other, and got what I've got. You know, got the money. Wasn't really that bad. You know what I mean? But when people start earning grands, thousands of pounds worth of money, you got to go in heavy and get it. You know, so I did. I mean, me and Jim in Lewisham. You know, don't forget, as well as earning money like that, you know, I was also a street fighter, a legal fighter, you know, going around the car parks and fighting. I mean, I've had quite a few fights with me and Jimmy, not together, you know, but other people, fighting them. I mean, I was fighting anybody. I mean, anybody and everybody I was fighting at that time, yeah, because I thought no one could touch me. I really thought no one could touch me. As I say, I had lots of fights. People keep saying to me, yeah, but there's no records of this, records of that, no pictures of you doing that. But as I told you before, there's only certain people, like Frankie Warren and them sort of people, that had the cameras and the videos because they had the money, yeah? And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people, you know, that could do that. But when I was with Jimmy, we didn't have any promoters really around us at the time. We had to go to, you know, to Frankie Warren, you know. But, you know, that's how it was, and that's how it ended, yeah. But look at, I mean, Frank Warren at that time, you know, like just a young, good-looking kid getting bundles of dough doing the fighting, you know what I mean? And you know, and I thought, looked at him. The only one there, I believe, was Vic Andretti. Vic Andretti was a promoter and also the trainer at the pub, the Ring. I told you about me and Lenny when I used to go down the Ring. I've sparred with Lenny down the Ring, a pub called the Ring, and it belonged to Vic Andretti. And there's quite a few fighters used to go there. I mean, I heard one time that Nigel Benn used to go there. I mean, I like Nigel. I mean, like Nigel's a nice guy, mate. You know what I mean? I mean, the time I met him, he wasn't nothing to do with the Essex boys. I don't think. I did think my mom. When I say I don't think, I mean I did see them. Now looking at their pictures, I did see them a couple of times with Nigel down at the fights and all that game. But there wasn't. There was nothing to bother me. I didn't see them. I was with a heavy little clique myself. Mickey Gooch was always at the fights. We was always at the fights together as much as we could be. Mickey, I love Mickey Gooch, mate. I loved him to death, Mick. I mean, he was a proper guy. The guy was a good money getter. I mean, it's, you know, you go in his house was like a palace. I mean, me and him went to Birmingham, you know, to see this guy in Birmingham. This guy was nice. Forget his name. He was absolutely cake. Minted, this guy. He had fortunes, yeah, fortunes. And when I went there, he used to do that. He used to go to the Isle of Wight. He used to have a yacht. They used to go to the Isle of Wight races, go across the water, do what they got to do, pick up bits and pieces and come back, yeah? because it was a race, wasn't it? So people ain't going to stop them looking into their boat, but they should do what they should do, yeah? Anyway, when I went to see this guy, he was a bit in a bad way. He was upstairs with Mickey. I mean, he was crying a bit, you know. Then Mickey told me that his little girl, he was upstairs with his mates in the bedroom, having a drink up in the, not a bedroom, a little club thing he had, looking over the pool in his back garden, and not taking no notice of his little girl. His little girl's run down the stairs, and she's gone through the patio doors, and she's gone out in the garden, and fell in the swimming pool. Well, it might not have fell in it. Maybe she thought she could jump in it and paddle it. You know what I mean? And she drowned. But he looked out the window, and when he looked out the window, all he could see was his little girl, the figure in the bottom of the swimming pool. When he ran out and dived in the pool and got her, she was dead, mate. She'd been in there 10 minutes, and she died. You know, I mean, how terrible was that, mate? I mean, come on, how terrible was that? He's supposed to be looking after that child, and he's turned his back for that split second, and she runs down the stairs and drowns. Yeah, imagine the wife. You imagine the wife when she came home and found that out. But he was devastated, mate. I think he lost a wife. I think she left him, yeah. But he was devastated. The guy was a good businessman, mate, proper. You know, he was like, everybody around Mickey Gooch, at that time, everybody was proper people, mate. Everybody, Mickey, I mean, come on. The time I met Mickey Gooch, yeah, I met him in Brixton Prison after I was with the other guy. But when I met him in Brixton Prison, you know, we just become friends. You know, and that day I see him on a bridge having a fight with I think it was a white guy and a light skinned guy, I'm not quite sure, about something about the bridge or something about the food or something, I don't know. And then they was getting leery with Mickey. I walked up, bang, bang. And I think I knocked one out and the other one ran anyway. But and Mickey said, wow, man. He said, why didn't you come and move me? I was with Keith Barry, John and Parky Barry's brother. He's crazy. That geezer, I swear to God, I didn't even know who he was. I never knew who the Barrys were. I didn't know there was some proper family, proper heavy family. You know, I didn't know. But this geezer, all night long, yeah? All night long he was reading books. All night long. Had the light on all night long, reading books. I can't sleep with the light on, you know what I mean? And what did he do? In the daytime, he'd want to sleep, farting and sleeping. I don't want that, you know what I mean? It drives me mad, mate. It drives me crazy. I couldn't put the television on because he's asleep. I don't want to be rude. And when Mickey said to me, look, why don't you come move with me, mate? It was like unbelievable, you know what I mean? Don't forget, I'd already been downstairs before that with Howard Marks. I mean, listen, mate. Howard Marks, I loved him, man. He was a nice geezer. Good money, good. I mean, to talk to Howard Marks, a good money getter. They had all that stuff in the loft, and I don't know, ton of gear or 2 ton. I ain't got a clue. People go, don't be silly. The loft could collapse. But mate, you're talking about people that know what they're doing. And if he's going to put drugs in the loft, right, in packets, he's going to make sure that loft's secure. So don't be telling me they can't do it, because they did do it. You know what I mean? He got nicked for it, didn't he? And I liked him, mate. I liked him a lot. You know, good money getter, mate. You know, and when he died of cancer. I was a bit shocked, really. I was a bit shocked that he died of cancer, because he was the one who invented the black. You know, not invented it, but made the black for cancer. You know, a lot of people I know are saying that Howard Marks, when he sort of like done the black, everybody was on this black thing who had cancer, and they put it under their tongue at night time and go to sleep, you know. And it was like unbelievable. A lot of people I know who still got cancer but not as bad, are taking the black, yeah. And they're all saying, well, you know, they're washing the leaves up or whatever they're doing, putting the water, boiling them up and getting the black, you know. And because it is good, and it does something to the cancer. It kills it, yeah. But a bit shame that it didn't work on Howard Marks. Perhaps it did. I don't know, you know what I mean? But he died of cancer, I was told. But he was a nice geezer, mate. He was a gentleman. The only thing I didn't like, he used to smoke like a trooper in the cell. The cell was full of smoke. And he smoked cannabis as well, you know what I mean? A bit green in there and it stunk. I don't smoke, and he was in there smoking, but he made a lot of sense. He talks a lot of sense to me. I liked Howard Marks. And I see him a couple of times when I come out. And my mate Mickey Gooch was wrapped around him for some time, I believe. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I believe that it was wrapped around Mickey, around him for a long time. Howard Marks, mate, he was a money getter, malted up, yeah? Malted up. Same as Mickey Green. Look at Mickey Green. Mickey Green the same. I mean, I met Mickey, well, years ago, you know, I met Mickey Green in Harrow, yeah? He had a club in Harrow. And I see Jimmy Wilkinson there, Dave Delaney, Bertie Smalls, the Supergrass. He was there. I think Gervais. I mean, come on, they all become like grasses. I'm not quite sure it's Gervais where he come from, Gervais, but I remember someone saying that Gervais was there. Not Gervais. O'Mahony. Mahoney was there. With Bertie Smalls, perhaps. I mean, they become proper Supergrasses, them two. You know what I mean? And Gervais become a Supergrass as well. I mean, when I went to the club, I went to the club with a guy called Danny Williams. Me and Danny Williams are really good pals, yeah. And I went to the club with Danny Williams and met Mickey Green, and he was there and all. Howard Marks was there. Crazy, isn't it? All them people was in that place. I mean, you got Brian Turner was there. Brian Turner, all that Wembley lot was there, mate. All that Wembley lot was there. There's some good people there, mate. Some good people, and you know, I forget a few names, but the ones that I did see, like Dave Delaney, the old man, Howard Marks, Brian Turner. I think Sam McCarthy was there. There was always the meeting in the club, in Mickey Green's club. Good club that was, nice little club. But Mickey, as I say, he moved on. And the next time I see Mickey Green in Chelmsford prison with a guy called Tony Edlin. Tony Edlin, nice guy. I know his boy, Rocky. Rocky can have a right fight, mate. Rocky, not a nice fellow. Rocky Edlin can have a right fight. He's no fool. He's a very, very dangerous man, mate, Rocky Edlin. And I like Rocky. He was living in Brighton. He got put away for 13, 14 years in a mental institution, but he isn't. I mean, they just certified him for some reason, mate. But I don't think it was nutty. He's a very clever man, and his dad Tony was with Mickey Green. Mickey Green and Tony, there was their own people really in Chelmsford prison. Mickey Green used to play cards a lot with Ronnie Bender and Wilkin and Jimmy Tibbs. The Tibbses used to play cards with them. All that lot used to play cards. Terry Millman is upstairs. Lou Swallow used to come downstairs play cards. There's quite a few people who used to play cards, mate. Ronnie Bender, come on, Ronnie Bender. Come on, mate. He's like a legend. He is a legend. Just so the Tibbses are legends. But Ronnie Bender, you know, you talk to Ronnie Bender, mate, this geezer couldn't do enough for you. You know what I mean? When I went to Chelmsford prison, and after a couple of days, Togi Ludlow, my mate, nut as a fruitcake, took me to see Ronnie Bender. Ronnie Bender, hello mate, and we sat there, we had bells hanging from the doors. You come and ding, 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 you know, like that. And his cell was immaculate, carpets, curtains, all bedspreads, nice pillowcases, everything. He had bottles of drink everywhere. Now, proper drink. I'm on about scotch, vodka, Bacardi, gin, you know, all them sorts of things he had in there. He had coffee, cocoa, chocolate. He had all sorts of things. He had met sweets and stuff as you wanted, you know what I mean? But Chelmsford prison was a good prison. I should imagine that was the best prison at that time in England. You could get away with anything, and people did. I mean, my cell was like a front room. I had everything in there from an armchair. I'm not joking. And I had all these things cut up, all these cupboards cut up to look like a Schreiber unit. It was all together. It was all together. Nice carpet curtains and everything you wanted. Yeah, it was nice, mate. But used to get it when people used to leave. Yeah, I used to run around and get it. I was a bit of a bad boy in there in Chelmsford prison. Started to learn more. I used to see Jimmy Tibbs downstairs, throwing punches, and very fit, very fit. Jimmy Tibbs, mate. He could overwhelm Jimmy Tibbs. Same as his son, his brother Robert Tibbs, Johnny Tibbs, all the Tibbses. I mean, the old man, Big Jim, I loved him, man. He was a nice geezer. Never said much. He didn't have to say much. He had hands twice like that. His hands were massive. You wouldn't get a clump with him, mate. I bet he was an handful with him, mate. Don't worry about that. He was an handful, the old man. And he was a nice geezer. You know, he didn't say too much. As I said, he didn't have to say too much. He was always with Ronnie Bender. Them two was very close. There were some proper people in Chelmsford prison. I love that Chelmsford prison, mate. I mean, honestly, I mean, going that. I mean, one of the best guys that I've met in Chelmsford prison. Well, that was Tony Lawrence, yeah. But if you wanted to have a laugh and have a sing song, Alan Dixon, mate. He had a big scar down his face that his brother George, I was told, cut in. But Alan Dixon, powerful man, dangerous man. I think he was one of the ones that took over from the Craze. I'm not quite sure. They got involved with money laundering and gangsterism, big time gangsterism. George and Alan, nice people. I don't know if they're still alive, but you know, I like Alan. Alan sing. He was one of the greatest singers going, Alan Dixon. And when you think about it, Alan Dixon, the night before he was going, he got on the bridge at 8 o'clock when everybody's supposed to be banging up and started singing My Way, yeah, by Frank Sinatra. And everybody, no one banged up. The screws, there's only about 4 or 5 screws on the whole nick, you know, that they couldn't bang us up. No one wanted to bang up, and he was singing songs for hours. How he never lost his release date, I don't know. But he was singing, and this guy, he could sing, yeah, My Way. He was going in the morning, and Alan Dixon was such a nice guy, mate. He was in the kitchen. He worked in the kitchen with us. There was Jimmy Tibbs, Gorgeous Georgie Jones, Alan, what's he called it? Peter Lyons, Ronnie Malloy, got done with the silver bullion. He was in the kitchen. There was some nice people in the kitchen, mate, and proper. I mean, I used to see Ronnie Bender come in there, mate, and walk out there with legs of lamb and half a pig. I swear on my life. Just walk out there with it, mate. Put it in the dustbin and walk out of it, because he used to empty the dustbins and clean this up and do this. He had about 20 jobs, Ronnie Bender. He had every job where he could go and get an earner. He run it. He run that little prison, and he run the wing, really. Not saying with ease, but as a nice guy. You know what I mean? He didn't have to prove nothing. He was supposed to be in the special forces. I could have believed that, but he didn't like playing rugby. His legs were dodgy. I mean, a couple of times he come on the rugby field and got battered, and we battered him. But we had in Chelmsford prison, mate. I'd say it was on par, right, with the Wasps, maybe the third team or the second team. We found London Saracens, London Irish, Wasps. We played so many teams. You know, I mean, you wouldn't believe the teams we played. And when you got people like Mickey Blackmore, was one of our captains. I mean, Mickey Blackmore was unbelievable. He was really good. I mean, he was a very powerful, strong man inwardly. You know, the guy was power. He felt the power. You know, Watkins. I mean, both Mickey Blackmore and Watkins got shot. I think it was in Holland. I think Mickey Blackmore went first. I mean, I think Mickey Blackmore was a hitman. Watkins was a hitman. They went out to do some damage, and they got shot, killed themselves. Yeah, but I mean, they're proper nice people. As I say, I met them in Chelmsford prison, and really nice people, mate. We had a guy. What was his name? Carl. Something Carl, was it? Carl, black guy called Carl. What was his something Carl? It was this geezer. He could run. He'd never catch him in a million years, mate. He could dart, bump, move around with the foot, with the rugby ball. Yeah, mate, you got that. Give him that rugby ball, mate. He was gone, you know. And my mate Peter Lyons, he was the same. Me and him was props. A couple of times I've done second row, and he broke my neck with a prop. Oh, what? I think someone was behind me, strong. I mean, I was powerful. I was about, what, 18.5 stone, 19 stone? Massive. I mean, big shoulders, massive arms, you know, in there playing. And once they give me the ball, and I was to go over that line, mate, then no one would stop me. My legs were powerful, mate. I was so big and strong. And I remember this particular day, yeah, we was playing Gray's Inn, lawyers, barristers, and all that, yeah. And we thought, hello. But you forget that rugby is for public school boys, not public school boys. So, yeah, it is really, and you know, really posh people. Hello. Look at me, I couldn't move. Anyway, so playing rugby and played this, look at these, and the prop was about 17, 18 stone. So you can imagine, not the prop, the hooker. You can imagine what the props are like. They're massive, yeah? And they kicked the ball into our pack, and I turned around and they knocked all my teeth out. But the nice screwing ones and all that, yeah? But, yeah, they knocked all my teeth out, mate. They either nutted me or punched me or kicked me or done something. But I can remember spitting all my teeth out, and they told me to go back in. I wouldn't go in, I wanted to play. All I did, got a rag put in my mouth, got all the blood out, and carried on playing. I loved my rugby, man. I loved it. We used to play it every Sunday. I loved it. And a couple of Sundays when I had a rest, I used to go. We had a gym in Chelmsford prison outside in a big metal like a aero shelter, massive, yeah. All the weights in there and the benches. And I used to go out there and do lots of declining, loads of declining and deadlifts. That's all I used to do. Decline, deadlift. And my back was massive, mate. My back, because of the deadlifts and stiff-legged deadlifts I used to do. Lots of weight. I mean, come on. And I used to decline there. I'm not joking. 4 or 5 plates each side, decline. Bosh, powerful. And a couple of times when they're playing rugby, no, not rugby, football, and they're coming through with the football, I'll be there and I'd say, come on, get your gear, and then we go back to the wings. And he's geezer saying, who's that geezer there? He's massive. He's huge. Me to talk about me. You know what I mean? And when we play rugby, it's very hard to me to get a shirt to fit me. And a couple of times, because I had the tailors in there, they'd do the arms for me, widen the arms, because I was too big, yeah? But I love my rugby. I love my weights. Mate. There was a geezer called Mickey Lawrence, yeah? Mickey Lawrence, come from Southend, I believe, Mick. If you're watching my podcast, Mick, how are you, mate? This geezer, mate, he was one of them people. He wasn't black, he was very dark, yeah? Like a gypsy. But he was like one of them people that's just picked up some weights, done something. He was muscular. His whole body was muscular to anything, mate. He could pick up 10 pounds and bump, muscles everywhere, mate. He was one of them guys. Sometimes he pissed me off because he was quite strong, but he looked chest massive, yeah, arms massive. And he'd piss you off. You'd be training forever, ever and ever to do something, and he'd be doing it for a couple of weeks and get defined. So it used to piss me off, you know what I mean? So me and him in the air, they fight a couple of times, but it never really hit off. It didn't ever happen. And anyway, and then you got all my mad mates in there. I mean, Toby Ludlow, all his little crew, all mad crew, walking around with knives and guns, not guns, I can make guns, walking around with, well, as it happens, you can make zip guns in it. So make a zip gun. Listen, don't believe me, mate. I know someone who had one and made one of them things, zip gun it's called. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, my mate Toby Ludlow and all that lot used to come in there, Frankie Fraser, all the Tibbses and the Dixons and Benders and all the Loose Swallows and all that lot, and Terry Millman, and he come downstairs to the gym. Who's playing? Sex Pistols. The Sex Pistols in Chelmsford prison. Let me tell you about it, mate. It was the greatest thing ever. It was so good. But the only thing is, they nearly got killed because they took the piss out of everyone who was in there, and you can't take the piss out of people that were going to kill you, and they would kill you. Then people go, when they went into the gym, I should imagine they went into the gym with like pencils, plastic knives, sharpened up, even knives, to go in there and plunge other people. That's what it was like in there. But them Sex Pistols, Johnny Rotten, that little firm, go out there by the skin of the teeth, saying to everybody in there, how can you be banged up? All you ain't getting banged up by these screws and all that game, you know, that sparked it off. They was lucky, really lucky to get out of there. And there's a lot of people in there just wanted to go and oblige them, but it never happened. Anyway, I've got lots of stories to tell you. I can go on and on about prisons and bits and people, but this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please like and subscribe. I've gone on a bit here, missed a lot of things out, which I should have done, and I said this. But this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please like and subscribe. And thanks so much to people that do subscribe. Do you know what? I've been doing this now for nearly a year now. Nearly a year. And I've nearly got 4,000 subscribers. But there's people in here. I've done 300 podcasts, 300 videos, podcasts, yeah. And I've got nearly 4,000 subscribers. And there's people in there that done 700 or 70 right, videos, and they've got 6,000 subscribers. I don't know how they do it. And there's me trying my hardest to get subscribers. But anyway, please press the like button and subscribe. I mean, I'm trying my hardest for you people out there, yeah. And I've got loads of stories. I've got to go tomorrow again to see the guy about my book. I've done nearly 100,000 words, which is a book. But there's a lot more to go on to it, I think. We've got to talk about it tomorrow. The book's out soon, yeah, weeks, months, but soon, yeah. And it is what it is, but it's the best book going, mate. Believe me, it's the best book going. All these other people's books, no idea, mate. They got no idea. This book is the business, yeah. Believe me, when you read it, you'll see, yeah. There's lots of stories in there, mate. You won't believe. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and behave yourself, yeah. Bye bye.